Hello everyone, my name is Micah Riley with Title One Agency. I am the president of Title One. We're a real estate title company. I have the honor of working with Dominic Fonte. He's one of our top agents, partners. He's a real estate agent in Northeast Ohio. He's a top professional and kind of an expert in the real estate industry. So Dominic, I've heard a lot of chatter recently about the real estate market. You've been doing this 35 years. We know that real estate is local. So what is really going on in our real estate market here?
First of all, turn off the news headlines because they're not accurate. And if you want to know accuracy, always look in your backyard. So in this case, we're going to talk about Stark County. In the last 12 months, we've been averaging below 3 months of inventory. So that means how many months does it take to burn off the inventory of homes? Like they talk about supply and demand. There's still a shortage of real estate, even in the market that you're hearing all these negative headlines. And what I mean by that is to have a balanced market, you have between 5 and 7 months of inventory. So we're at 2.5 months in Stark County. So that means for sure it's favoring the sellers at this point.
Okay. So let's touch on that go a little deeper there. So you talk about it being a seller's market, and you mentioned 5 to 7 months worth of inventory would kind of shift it. So anything over 7 would be maybe a buyer's market. So a buyer's market means a buyer's going to maybe get a deal.
Right.
And a seller's market means it kind of favors the seller. So we're still in a seller's market.
Correct.
So, last year, you hear all these stories of, I listed my home and within 4 hours we had 10 offers. Is that still happening?
No. So basically what's happening is it's normalizing a little bit. So instead of 10 buyers for one house, now you have 2 buyers for one house. So what happened was a lot of the buyers were these millennials that are in the buying age of 28 to 35. And so what they ended up doing, the Fed, since there was no more supply, they had to raise the rates. So they raised them from 3 to 7. And that took a lot of the millennials out of the marketplace, pushed them over into the rental side, which then created a shortage of rentals and a premium. So the buyers still want to buy. It's just they're on the sidelines because the Fed raised the rates so much. Now, the rates and
let's talk about rates.
Supply and demand. Yeah, so 7% right now, which is still a pretty low rate compared to 40 or 50 years, right? If you average it out.
Yeah, exactly. And Dominic, you bring up a good point because I've been in the industry 18 years. All right, so I started in 2004, and I've heard, I don't know how many times I can talk to somebody who's been in the industry as long as you have say, "Oh, you think rates are bad now? You should have seen them in the 80s." So talk to us historically about interest rates. Right now, I think we're at a 6 or 7% interest rate.
Right.
Is that bad?
No, it's not, but it's bad if you only know 3%, right? So in 1981, when I bought my first house, the rates dropped to 18%. I thought that was a good deal. So it's all relative, I guess. 8%, 7% were great rates. We used to refinance our houses all the time. Every time the rate would drop from 12 to 11 to 10 to 8. And then it kind of leveled out at 3.5 after the debacle happened in 08. Stayed there for quite a while. And then when buyers came to market, they said, you know what? 3% is a pretty good rate. They raise it 3.5. They get upset. Well, guess what? It's only 6.5 right now. So you buy the best house that you can afford in the best location. And remember, you marry the house, but you date the rate because the rates will come down again, and then you refi.
Okay. So when you say date the rate, that means that you can always refinance your mortgage if the rates go down.
Correct.
So you get to keep your home, and then you refinance the mortgage into a lower rate.
That's right.
Okay.
And that happened many times over the course of the last 40 years.
Awesome. Well, Dominic, those were kind of 3 things I wanted to talk about today. As always, I love your explanation. They're always so clear, concise, and easy to understand. I appreciate you coming in. Dominic, why don't you tell people if they need to reach out to you or if they want to work with an agent like you, how would they get in contact with you?
Well, you can call me at 330-418-1535, call or text. You can send me an email if you'd like at dominicfonte.com. Or if you want to see my more than 400 5-star reviews to see what you would experience working with me and my team, we always put your needs first. Go to dominicfonte.com.
Thanks so much for tuning in today.